Welcome to Next Level Rugby's an American Rugby Premiership production sponsored by USA Rugby. My name is Ryan Ginty, and today we are in Malden, Massachusetts at Pine Banks Park for the match between Mystic River and Boston. Here we see the Mystic River lineup. Look for big games out of the 8-man Sean Rafferty and Evan O'Driscoll. And here's the Boston Rugby lineup. Look for Morales wearing the 12 jersey. He's a big center, causes a lot of problems. Also young guys on the field. Devin Ibanez, new player for Boston, but very skilled player. So as we look, it's Tasi Tupu with the kick. Boston goes up and covers it well. Going up, securing the ruck, playing the ball out there. The 9, that is Tracy. Tracy with the ball out again to Llewellyn, who hits a Morales coming in, but Morales isn't able to hold on to the ball. Evan O'Driscoll does a good job of cleaning it up. That's Gabe Perrone. He's the scrum half, but a little bit sloppy there to start it up. See a little bit of nerves going in. Referee was given advantage for the knock-on Morales as he tried taking the ball through the line. So we're going to see our first scrum down here as we see our Boston forwards. We got at loose head, Barrett Stoll, Patrick Rockwell as the hooker, and Anthony Pecora holding down that tight head position at the 3. Second row is David Perel, Marcos Flegman, and Edward Guiton, and Devin Ibanez as your flankers, and James Wheeler on the back as your 8-man. This Mystic River pack with Diego Maqueda, Michael Baza, and Mike Schultman securing the front row, and Dartmouth player Dazzo and Dave McKenna. Look for those two to have a big impact as the locks in the game. And then, of course, the two flankers that are everywhere, John Kakinda, Joe Shermitis, and Sean the Tank Rafferty, causes some problems. So we see Mystic River here losing their own scrum. Good job by Wheeler getting some yards out of the back on the pick and go. Pop back inside to Morales, but he stopped well in there. Looks like that's Hollywood Joe Shermitis in on the tackle trying for the poach, but Boston doing a good job of getting him out of there. And there's that second row that we were talking about, the big man McKenna right there. He's going to have a big game today for Mystic River. Ball coming just past it there. Tracy throw the ball behind the runner. So a little sloppy, and Tassi with the ball, and he's looking to stretch the other side of the field. He's looking for the offload, taken down well into contact, but he gets back up because he's not held, dancing a little bit. Gives a little stiff arm, finally goes to ground. Gabe in there to play the ball out. Looks like Rafferty with ball in hand, just going to head straight up, but loses the handle on it. Llewellyn there to clean it up. Turns it around, a little chip over. Looks to chase it down, but Feldman's doing a good job getting back. Gets the ball out to Collinson, and Collinson's going to go ahead and he's going to kick away. So he kicks the ball nice and deep, bounces in bounds, a great kick, and it heads directly out of bounds. Fantastic kick by Collinson. Just going to go ahead and reset the defensive structure there. Gain a little bit of territory with that kick. So we're going to have the line out throw-in going by way of Boston. That's going to be Patrick Rockwell with the throw. So we get a nice wide view there. Mystic River Rugby Club. Fantastic facility here at Pine Banks, Malden, Massachusetts. So ball goes up. Pearl does a good job of gathering it, but he was able to gather it well because the throw was not straight. So Mystic River with the option. And Mystic's going to opt for the line out through Baza. Mystic River's line out working very well for him, and your eyes are not deceiving you. That is a 14 in there for the line out. That is Chris Frasier. They'll bring him in off the wing, and look, that's why. Big man just goes right up there, gets it. Pops the ball out there, and there's Hollywood Joe Shermitis with the big run right out of the line out. Gabe with the ball out to Feldman. Feldman's got runners, misses behind, gets it out to Tassi. Collinson able to gather it well. Nate Fox on the corner there. Nate Fox cuts it back inside. Tackled, held well though. That was Morales. I was able to gather it. Mystic River pressing. Feldman with the ball in hand, just hits it, straightens it right back up there. It's Hollywood again, straightening it right up the field. Perrone with the ball, looks to try and find Rafferty, and then Rafferty gets it offload into Collinson. They're getting it awful close to the try line right there, and they look to have gotten it down. But the referee saying no. Looks like it was a knock on there. So they're going to bring it back. Boston able to avert disaster at the early onset of this game in here. Mystic River threatening the corner. But the Boston defense doing a good job through Morales of holding them. So it's going to be a scrum feed going the way of Boston here when we come back to action. See, Mystic River's got 3 up in their defensive line. That's Tracy wearing the 22 jersey right there. That is the number he started the game with. So you see Kakinda trying to cheat a little bit there, trying to kick through, but a good job of Wheeler trying to secure that, but Mystic River causing a lot of problems for that Boston side, but Boston's able to get the ball out, but not out into touch. Fox stretches it to Collinson. Collinson gets it into Frasier's hands, and Frasier's got some space, and he's wide open. He's got those big legs, and there he is. That's the man that we just saw going up in the line out. Now he's the wing, scoring, doing what he's supposed to do, finishing tries. That is Chris Frasier, man. He is he's a man out of Northeastern. Been playing with this Mystic River side for the last 2 years now. A really good product for them. Scored a lot of tries this summer in the Summer 7 series. So look for him to be a big impact. Here as we see the replay from behind, Frasier just gets the edge, cuts back inside, and then once he bounces it back outside, he's going to come around, and he's going to beat Ibanez on the outside. That was a good chase by Ibanez, but you're not catching Frasier right there. So Mystic River draws first blood and opens up the scoring as Tassi sets up for the conversion. And now 5-0. A pretty good angle here for Tassi. He is a Samoan professional, though. Internationally capped Sevens player. Great addition to the Mystic River Sevens program this summer. Set up a lot of good tries. If you're watching any of our highlights, Next Level Rugby highlights, he was all over them. So Tassi with the kick, and it is good from the difficult angle. So Boston is now in front 7-0 in the early stages of this game here at Pine Banks Park in Malden, Massachusetts. American Rugby Premiership brought to you by USA Rugby and Next Level Rugby Productions. We're coming to you from Pine Banks, traveling up from Hartford, Connecticut. We'll be covering all the American Rugby Premiership games this fall and spring. So we get the ball underway. Macchietta goes up with the ball, does a good job of gathering it with a little bit of help from a friend. Perone slows it down, does a good job settling it. Kakinda not able to get it on its first handle, but brings the ball in, but loses it now. Boston's done a good job of turning it over. That's Rockwell, the hooker. But this counter ruck from Mystic River slowing down the Boston attack. Oh, but there's Feldman just right there. Takes it right out of the hand. Don't know exactly what was happening on that play, but John Feldman got lucky. Ball back through the hands of Hollywood. Out to Tassi. Evan O'Driscoll with ball in hand. Collinson now looking to work it outside to Fox. Fox cuts back inside on a great line. Getting some good room here for this Mystic River side who's all on the front foot. But a knock on. Throttling up just a little bit too much. Not able to handle on to the ball. And Boston is going to be sitting in a good position right now. Scrum down, going the way of Boston. They need to look to find some continuity here early on. A couple of Mystic River mistakes have gotten them out of trouble. One knock-on in the try and the knock-on here as Mystic River's on the front foot and that Boston defense is just reeling. So Boston with the feed. James Tracy, and the referee's going to blow it up. So it's going to be a free kick going the way of Boston. We did not catch the signal right there. I don't know if that was an early hook attempt or maybe an early drive there. But Boston does have a free kick here. Talking over their options. And it seems like they're going to go back. They're going to have a scrum. So we're going to bring it back for another scrum. Boston with the feed. The score is 7-0 in the early stages of this match. We're about 8 to 9 minutes in. Sean Tracy with the feed for Boston. So we got a nice picture of that scrum right there. Ball looks to find its way back, but comes right out. So, ref, we're going to have another scrum down. That's always, forward's best time. You hear that whistle blown up. Ah, great, we get to do this all over again. Hopefully this isn't a recurring theme throughout the day. A lot of nerves right here. This is the Battle of Boston. See Jared Collinson giving some orders to John Kakinda from that fullback position, organizing the defense well back there. Jared Collinson, great 7s player, great 15s player. You get him in space, he's a danger man with lots of speed to burn. So now you see Boston out here working it through the hands, straightening the ball right up. Mystic River in, and a great job. Looks like an offsides right there from Boston. So Mystic River turning the ball over. So Tassi with the kick. Just on the other side of the 50. He's got a fantastic boot. And man, he puts Mystic River in a fantastic attacking position deep within Boston territory. Mystic River, their set piece is looking really good too. So we'll look to see what they do out of here if they look to maul this close to the try line. Might be a good option with their big men. But Boston's got some big boys too. They're talking themselves through. Mystic River showing their professionalism, right? Just walking straight up to the line, coming up, and then they're going to go. Sending Frasier up for it. He brings it down, and they are going to maul it right now. Looking to work it back. Ball's making its way around, and that's John Kakinda. He's going to go in. He's going to score. Mystic River just finds the opening there. Boston not able to stop that maul, and they just peel off right out the side of it, and Kakinda goes in almost untouched for the try. 5 points. We're looking at a scoreline now of 12-0. If we see the replay right here, Big Frasier just gets it. And we see a good drive on by the Mystic forwards right here, doing the hard work, and then Kakinda with the ball does a good job just peeling off and putting it down. We knew coming in here that Mystic River, their forwards are definitely one of their strengths. But they are without prop Chris O'Donnell, who is off, I believe, at a wedding this weekend. He's a big boy, but Diego Maciera in filling in for him, he's fantastic. So we'll look to see him. I know Josh is relying on him this game heavily, anticipating a good game out of him. Tassi with the conversion. Boston will come out. No charge down on the kick. So now it's 14-0. Tassi now 2 for 2 with his conversions. He has a fantastic boot. So Next Level Rugby, we have partnered with the American Rugby Premiership and USA Rugby to bring you this coverage that you're watching right now. Every Wednesday night, you'll be able to see the best rugby action happening on the East Coast. Boston, Boston Irish Wolfhounds, Old Blue, Nyack, Mystic River, and Life as well. So the kickoff is up and a knock on in there. It's Boston Rugby challenging for possession, but knocks the ball forward. So we're going to have a scrum down going the way of Mystic River. Feldman and O'Driscoll back there organizing their attack and what their options are. So Mystic River, all pace so far, putting lots of pressure on Boston. Ball comes out. Pick tries to work it through Frasier. Frasier straightens up. No offload coming, but looking for it. And a fantastic job of Boston right there. It's just Mystic River not able to get to the breakdown fast enough to help Frasier out. And his penalty going the way of Boston. Boston's going to be able to slow down that Mystic River attack and get some good territory. So it looks like they're just outside the 22 with their line out. Boston coming up now. Gave dealing with Dazzo there. He's new to the 15s games, played a lot of 7s. That's where he knows his rugby. So ball a little bit dirty, but Pearl does a good job of cleaning it up. Ball played out. Oh, nice big hit in there from the Mystic forwards. Boston does well to retain possession, though. Llewellyn tries a little chip kick over the top, but Collinson does a good job, and he calls for the mark there. So looking for some space, but it wasn't quite there from Llewellyn. But he did have the advantage, so they're going to bring it back. Might as well go for it right there. If he got the advantage and he knew that was going on, I didn't see the advantage was played. But if he knew, he might as well try something cheeky there. So they're going to bring it back now, and they're going to go through Gideon Balak's boot. They're going to look to put 3 points and get on the board. They're down 14-0 right now. Is Boston Rugby here in the black jerseys, Mystic River in those blue and white jerseys on the left-hand side of your screen. So we get a nice view here of this beautiful rugby pitch, Pine Banks, here in Malden, Massachusetts. Mystic River playing host to the American Rugby Premiership game versus Boston Rugby here. Gideon Balak with the kick. And it's a good strike. Looks to be striked it well right there. So Boston's on the board now. 14-3 through Gideon's boot. So a little bit of something there for the Boston team. You know, they need some points. They need to stop this Mystic attack. The best way to stop this Mystic attack is you just don't let them have the ball. They're very effective at retaining possession. Big forwards that'll run you over, and they got a lot of speed out wide. So Boston can do a good job here, retain the possession, get the ball down the field, and try and work it through Morales and then find that space out wide. You know, they should be doing a good job. So ball's up, taken by Morales, man, we were just talking about. Boston finally secures that ruck and a box kick in there from Tracy. Tracy throws it up, taken well by Nate Fox, who's immediately hit there by Ripley. Ball out to Feldman. Feldman works out to O'Driscoll. Quick hands out to Tossie. Tossie's got Frasier on the outside. Comes around, but nice tackle in there. He loses the ball. O'Driscoll comes through for the clear out. Perron's looking around. Ball's out. Baza with ball in hand. Does a good job of sneaking through the gap. Ball out to Feldman again. Feldman hits that inside runner. Hollywood Joe Shermitis there. So ball back into Feldman. And, of course, going back in again. Sean Rafferty getting tied up well there by that Boston defense. They're stopping this attack so far. Feldman gets cranked in there. Pops off the deck, though, to Evan O'Driscoll. And O'Driscoll with those offloads that he's known for right there. Not much coming from it, but they're still on the front foot. Ooh, big hit there by Diego coming in, lowering the shoulder there. Tackle was made. So Feldman back out to Tossie. Tossie kind of soft through contact. Ball comes out, batted back by Frasier. Oh, and there's Dazzle with the ball in hand. Oh, he's got open space. He's cutting it up. Spins one, goes out. Offload into Shermitis. Shermitis gets tripped up a little bit, but he's still going forward. Gabe with the ball, flings it out to his left. Oh, Collinson on the wing. There's Nate Fox right there. And Nate Fox is tackled, and he's ripped out. That's a fantastic job there. That's a toe of Ripley just taking the ball away from Nate Fox, and now Kakinda with ball in hand. Takes it straight at the scrum half. Tracy. So ruck out. Ball a little bit sloppy here. Baza with the take, carrying it straight ahead. Perron out to Feldman. Pass behind Tossie. Collinson with it. Nice tackle coming in right there. Takes 3 guys, though, from Boston to get him down. Back out. Oh, there's the big guy McKenna right there. McKenna held up. Oh, there he is. He's just over the momentum. Boston doing a good job of holding him up, but they are offside. So the referee is going to bring it back, and it's going to be a penalty for Mystic River there. But Boston doing a good job holding up McKenna as he was running in there. That was almost disaster for him. It's a big boy, full head of speed, but able to get underneath the ball. So Mystic River's going to go ahead. They're going to opt for the kick. It's 14-3 right now. The score would give them 17-3. A true converted try lead We're about, 18 minutes into this match right now. Mystic River has been doing a lot of damage. Boston was able to get on the board with the penalty through the boot of Gideon Ballack. Tassi lines it up, and it is good. So 17-3. Mystic River is on top. 20 minutes gone in the first half here at Pine Banks Park in Malden, Massachusetts. Mystic River coming off a pretty good win, a thrashing that they gave the Boston Irish Wolfhounds last weekend. Boston Rugby Football Club coming off a loss to Nyack, a 43-3 loss to Nyack. They have beaten Mystic River the last 2 times they played them, but like as we talked about earlier, and this is a different team, and good job. It looked like Diego was able to go up and get it initially, but turned over, lost possession. So Boston not releasing there. That's Schultman right there. Luke Schultman, the prop. And now Boston puts it into touch. Gains about 20 meters of field position there inside the 22. So we're looking to see what options Boston's going with here for the line out. Chris Frasier, we see that wing. He's in the front of that line out. They're going to look to get him nice and tall. And there he does. Does a good job of just destroying it. Dazzle with the ball. Does good gathering it. Head straight up the pitch. McKenna securing the back of the ruck. Ball out, and Tassi with the boot. Able to put it in touch and relieve pressure from Mystic River. So Boston not able to handle their set piece. Mystic River able to get Frasier up there in that first pod. Bring the ball back. Dazzle there gathering the ball well. Takes it straight up. Secure that ruck and then get that ball out to Tassi, and Tassi's able to relieve that pressure. And now you're looking at a Boston line out now. 30-meter change of possession off that kick. So now Boston's got a line out just over their side of the 50. Frasier again up in the front pod. They're going to go behind him. They're going to get back. But Sean Rafferty, it doesn't matter. He's able to get there. And a little bit of volleyball there between the flankers. Joe Shermitis not held. Perone with the ball out to Feldman. Feldman gets the ball out. Rafferty looks to cut it back inside, offloading to Loop and Kakinda. Kakinda with the ball on the deck. Mystic River doing a great job of keeping it alive, and Feldman kicks the ball up there. Taken by Gideon. Gillian's taken down by his opposite number right away. And it appears we have a penalty here. Referee not happy with Collinson, I believe. So he's calling in Jared right now. Springfield College player. Was a Middlesex player before the merger. Now wearing the Mystic River blue and white. As a number of these Middlesex guys are as well. A fantastic combinations of 2 clubs. You know, they're both in the same area. Mystic River, you know, had a number of different coaching changes over the last couple of years and has finally found some stability through Josh Smith, who I think is one of the best coaches in the country. Fantastic guy, all about the program, and total diehard Mystic. So right now, 17-3. Mystic River on top of Boston. Line out going the way of Boston. They look to get it back. Finally get it over Frasier and gather their own line out. And then they're just going to run it straight up to Wheeler. Wheeler finds a hole. Ball a little bit sloppy on the deck. Played out well. Gets back into the forwards. Now Boston's looking to be on the front foot. But a good defensive line there of Mystic River forces the kick. A pretty good option there. That might keep that Boston attack, might keep them a little bit hesitant there. They're screaming up right in the face of Llewellyn, but Llewellyn just boots the ball away into touch. So now Mystic River with the line out inside their 22. With the option here to kick directly to touch if they want it. Mystic walking up to line out, going front pod right into Rafferty really quick. Setting up. Ball's out nice and wide. Tassi again. He'll give the boot. Doesn't find touch on the first bounce, but gathered well in there by the winger. Played out into the fullback. That's Gideon putting it up. Going for it. But a great job by Diego. That's the prop. That challenged the kick. Gideon didn't even really go up and contest for it. If you're going to kick the ball up like that, you got to go after the ball. So Tassi now, Mystic River running out through Evan O'Driscoll out wide left. Evan taken down, ball coming out now. Big hard charge and run, but stopped well. That was McKenna, stopped by that Boston defense right in his tracks. Now they're firing it up again. Joe Shermitis slips one tackle, but brought down finally. Perone out to Feldman. Feldman out to Tassi. Tassi looking to do something. There's Diego out there in the back line. He is a sevens player, believe it or not, playing prop. That's the versatility of this Mystic River pack, man. There's Dazzo right there with the ball. Not going anywhere. McKenna and Baza doing a good job of securing that ruck. Ball coming out wide again. There's Shermitis. See a lot of play in here. Perone again out. Feldman out. Collinson with the ball. Stiff arms one. Taking it straight up. Lost into it. But Collinson loses the ball. And now Gideon with the ball. Attacking straight up. Right in. Good job there. Boston able to secure the ruck. So now Llewellyn with the boot. He's going to give it a ride downfield. Mystic River just letting it bounce. Frasier's finally got it in hand. That's dangerous right there. Does a good job of holding in the defense. Buys some space for Tassi. Tassi looks for an offload. Finds Frasier. And then finally they're getting yelled at to straighten up. They're finally straightening up. That Boston defense kind of just like watching them dance in front of them. Diego again with the ball. Moving straight up the field. Out Tassi with the big pass out there to Nate Fox. Nate's going to put it on the boot. And then Gideon does a good job of calling for the mark. He's been tested a couple times today so far, and he's held up under pressure. So you see Mystic River already a couple of times giving away possession through the boot. Josh Smith not happy about that one, as you can see him getting a little bit fired up on the sidelines over here. But so on the mark, it's tapped backwards, kicked into touch. So Mystic River is going to come out with a line out just outside the 22 of Boston. So we've seen Frasier very effective in this line out here for Mystic River. Baza doing a good job so far throwing the ball in. Referee on point all over this game. Flying all the way out from California. So you see it out. Again, Frasier up. Pops it right in. There's Shermitis. Looks to hit a hole. He's coming around the corner. Takes three guys to get him down. They're right over the top of it, though. Is Boston doing a good job? Yes, and they have turned it over. They did a good job of turning it over. Tracy gets the ball out of danger. Bounced backwards and then off the foot. Getting a little bit sloppy in there. So it went backwards. No offsides call. And then look to test it out. Frasier gets it, but with no space. He's going to cut it back inside. A lot of Boston defenders in that space right there. McKenna with the ball back out to Feldman, and not exactly sure what is going on in there. So we're going to come back for offsides call. The advantage being played. Looked like that was somewhat of an obstruction call. Not really sure what Mystic River was doing there. Now Perone's talking with the ref. Tassi going to give this ball a ride downfield. And give Mystic River a really good attacking position here. Doing a really good job through the boot there, Tassi. He's moving them all over the field. It's a Samoan international right there. He came in for the sevens circuit this summer. Did a really good job. This Mystic River side, a number of these guys that are out here on the pitch playing for him. Went to nationals representing the Northeast, finished third in the country. And there we go. See Frasier again. He's one of those big guys in sevens. Is up. Put him up for the lineout. He's going to win the ball for you every time. Now we see Kakinda here. It's still a maul, still up. Kakinda tries to slip through the left-hand side. He's over. Perone looks to attack left again, but he brings it right through Diego. Diego brought to deck. Ball out, Feldman. Feldman works it through. Evan O'Driscoll stuffed short. There's Devin Ibanez right there, one of those young guys playing for Boston. But Tassi gets it. Nice tackle there. Looks like he lost it forward. And yeah, the ref's going to tell him. Tassie's going to try and explain himself, but I don't think he's going to win that argument. So just lost it right there. But we talked about a couple of these guys also from Boston that are playing in the 7th Circuit this summer. Devin Ibanez, the guy we just saw on that big tackle right in there. Also Shane Morales and a couple other gentlemen on this roster. So Boston with the feed. About 15 meters out from their try. Wheeler takes it off the back of the scrum, gives a stiff arm to Hollywood. Hollywood tries to come over for the poach, but the ruck is there. Gator roll's not coming on him, though. Good luck with that. So we got a penalty. Obstruction. The ref is calling Hollywood for obstruction on the play. So we've seen it quite a bit this game. A lot of stop and go, a lot of stop and go. Open play, penalty, open play, knock. So it's still early goings right now, though. 30 minutes into this game. We still got a whole nother 50 minutes. About 10 minutes left in this half. With the scoreline of 17-3 going the way of Mystic River. The Monsters from Malden. Hashtag Monsters of Malden. Mystic River Rugby Club. Been around for a while. Same thing with Boston. These guys have been playing each other. Crosstown rivals for years. This is one of the best rivalries in sports. And Frasier, again, doing a good job. Taking the line out away. But Boston causing problems. Boston able to get it on, but off the boot of Llewellyn. Nate Fox able to circle back, pick it up, and he's going to attack straight up the field. Look to get it out wide. Oh, big run in through Hollywood Tremitis. And oh, there's a danger man. Dazzo with some space right there. He's got 2 men to beat. He's going to be able to split him up the middle. And wow. Fantastic from the Dartmouth man right here. Making his transition to 15s really well. You know, great run by Hollywood, who's able to spin around and through contact, able to offload the ball into Dazzo. Dazzo's able to just get up into space, and he's gone. So here we go again. We see the replay, and there's just the man. Big hole in space. Cuts it right. Gideon not able to get to him in time, and he's just too powerful, too strong, too big and fast, and he puts it down. So 22-3 on the score right there. Coming through the work of Dazzo. The product of Dartmouth Rugby. Dartmouth, a lot of great coaches up there. Magleby, Hickey, you know, great players coming out of there. Madison Hughes for their 7s team and 15s. Fantastic rugby school up there. They're in a rebuilding phase this year. Oh, look at that. Tassi getting a little bit sloppy there as he starts his movement towards the ball. Boston is allowed to charge down that kick, and they did, stopping what would probably be a sure-footed Tassi from gaining 2 more points to that scoreline. So it holds at 22-3 right now. Mystic River on top of Boston. So a nice high kick. Boston's doing a really good job. Wow. Taking well there. Prell able to get the ball off the bounce. Ball played out to Llewellyn. Llewellyn looks to shake one. Finds right past Baza. Mismatch there with the hooker. But offloads it. Ibanez not able to handle it. And the referee's going to bring this back right now. I think he's getting Evan O'Driscoll for a high tackle on that one. So he was up over the shoulders on that. But Llewellyn does a good job, spots a mismatch against a hooker, takes advantage of it, gets into it. But Evan O'Driscoll and the scraping tackle takes him a little bit too high. And now another penalty going the way of Boston. And it looks like they're going to go for points here. As we see the scoreboard behind us, it's 22-3. Mystic River Rugby Club on top of Boston here at Pine Banks Park in Malden, Massachusetts. Next Level Rugby. My name is Ryan Ginty, and we are bringing you the best coverage of rugby here on the East Coast. Right now, we're just covering the American Rugby Premiership, but we're opening it up We're looking to get everything that we can, provide as much exposure and visibility for the sport that we love at every level, whether it's D1 men's, ARP, or D3, men's, women's, collegiate, whatever it is. We want to show the world what great rugby we have here. And so we have Gideon Ballack right there, adding 3 points to the total, bringing it 22-6 right now. Boston striking back, but whenever they get within the 22 of Mystic River, Mystic River is able to stay calm, cool, collected, turn the ball over, and just get out of danger. So Tassi with the restart. Nice high kick. Little deep. Taken well. It's Morales with ball in hand. Feldman brings him down. See a nice little pat there from the forwards for Morales, taking that ball up. A nice kick right there. Sends Nate Fox running backwards. Great kick, finds some space. Nate puts it back on the boot. Ball goes up. Gathered well. Swinging the ball and attacking straight up the middle is Gideon, the fullback. But, a big hit in there by Hollywood Joe Shermitis. That was Llewellyn, rather, that got crushed by Shermitis on there. McKenna with the sloppy tackle. Allows Ibanez to get outside. Ball played back inside to a runner that was almost just standing still. Stopped his momentum going forward. Mystic River defense able to cover up well on that. So again, nice poach there by Baza, but able to be cleared out there by Pecora. That was a great play by him to stop the poach. Baza did a great job of getting himself in position. But here now we see a little attack here. Boston sparked a little bit of fire through those 3 points, and they got space for days. If they can just get that ball out wide, I don't know why they keep attacking the weak side out there. The numbers were wide open left. They missed a huge overload there that they did not take advantage of. And Mystic River able to turn over the ball, just like we were talking about earlier. Mystic River, they're within a dangerous situation there. Boston's threatening, but they just maintain their calm. And we see the defensive line right here. Frasier, slips a tackle right there. Batasi comes from behind. Ball popped off the deck. Well, McKenzie gathers it. Good job there by Gideon of keeping that ball in the ruck there. That's a heads-up play. So now a little bit of a high ball into the forward. Big hit there. That's the big man. Take a seat, Baza. That's going to hurt. So fantastic hit there. See Tracy right there. He's calling for a penalty, but he gets it for Rafferty. Rafferty does a good job right there. Tracy calling the wrong penalty, trying to explain it to the ref, but Rafferty doing a fantastic job turning over that ball right there. And here we are again. Mystic River through the boot of Tassi, looking to gain some ground. So another fantastic clearance kick coming from Tassi. I apologize for you having to hear my voice this whole time. But hey, it's better than nothing as we get you the best coverage of men's D1/American Rugby Premiership action going off almost every weekend. Our next matches that we're going to be covering is October 17th. We'll be up in Boston for Nyack versus Mystic and Old Blue at Boston. Going to be a fantastic game. Other big games to pay attention to that weekend is going to be UMass versus BC. UMass actually just losing to NEC today in a tight game. So kudos to the NEC team. We saw them play. I went up with the University of Hartford boys. We watched NEC play AIC. It was a 24-7 game. Scoreline was probably a little bit in the favor of the NEC guys as AIC looked to move the ball all around. But look for that to be a big game on the 17th when we're back in action. So now we're back here, and we'll talk about the game that we got going on in front of us. It's going to be a penalty against Boston. Seems to be a recurring theme here. Lots of penalties going the way of Boston. Ref having a lot of patience here in dealing with Tracy. Tracy's telling everyone to cut it out, get control of his guys, and once again, Tassi just moving the ball down the field and putting Mystic River in a great position. I won't talk too much. I anticipate him putting this ball into touch through his boot. And a fantastic line out just outside the 5-meter mark, about 10 meters outside of the try line. Gives this Mystic River forward pack like a great attacking position. You hear the crowd asking for him, punch it in, punch it in, punch it in. Pecora in there, organizing his defensive strategy there with his boys from Boston. Ball in, front pod, going to Rafferty. Kakinda comes in, grabs it. Peeled off, first pod peels off. Coming around, they're still driving, they're bringing it in, and it looks like they're not over yet. Perone digging for that ball, brings it out. Oh, great job of being able to handle that ball as McKenna. Low pass, back out to Feldman. Feldman looks to hit Dazzo. Dazzo's held up well by Morales and Llewellyn. Ball comes out back, Feldman trying to stretch it out through Collinson. Collinson looks to find Frasier on the end, and he found him. Oh no, it's Nate Fox, and Nate not able to handle the ball. It wasn't Frasier, it was Nate Fox. And that is going to be halftime, folks. It's 22-6 right now. Mystic River doing a fantastic job of just owning the game, controlling possession, and just using the boot of Tassi to get them out of danger. Boston not doing themselves any favors, lots of penalties. So we're going to come back after the halftime. It's 22-6 here. Mystic River over Boston at Pine Banks in Malden, Massachusetts. American Rugby Premiership and D1 rugby action at its greatest.
So big thing to work on to help us in our numbers. So that means tackle the ball carrier, present on, right? Present on, give it a good clap. Yeah? Get it away from you.
So we're back in second half action. We saw tries from Steve Dazzo, John Kakinda, and Chris Frasier there. 2 conversions successful through the boot of Tassi. 1 was blocked by the charge down from Boston Rugby, and we had a penalty kick from Tassi as well. That's giving Mystic River their 22 points. Boston has 6 points through the boot of their fullback Gideon Bollock, and now we're underway here for second half action. Steve Bozza does a good job of getting the ball and cleaning it up. Perone plays the ball out to Feldman. Feldman finds Tassi. Tassi looks to get it around. He's got Nate Fox on the outside, but taken well there by Atoa Ripley. Ball out from Perone into Schultzman's hand. He looks to find a big hit in there. Perone plays it out. Diego Macchietta with the ball. Mystic River getting pretty nasty in those rucks in there. And there's Feldman with Tassi. Tassi looks to put it on the boot, but not a good option. It's charged down, but gathered well from Tassi. Gathered his own kick that was charged down. Now he's attacking straight up the field, looking to reset. Llewellyn in on the tackle. Perone with the ball out. Diego straightens up. Met with some stiff resistance there, but able to get a couple extra meters there. Ibanez doing a good job of not interfering with the play there, so ref says play on. Dazzo picks up the ball, runs straight forward. Those Mystic River forwards just hammering away. Ball coming out left right now. Shermitis with the carry. You see it coming out now left. Feldman ball into Nate Fox. Nate Fox does a good job of cutting it back in. He had nothing going on outside. Toa did a good job of holding it down there. Nothing on. So now Mystic River looking to come back to the right side of the field through Feldman. Feldman calling for the ball. Gets it out wide. But a good tackle in there from the Boston defense. And now Mystic slowing it down. Rafferty met by Morales. So, a knock on that we're going to say in there in the tackle, I believe is what the referee is saying. It's knocked on by Tracy, he's going to say. Knocked out of the Mystic River player's hand, so it's going to be a scrum feed to Mystic River. We're going to get the action back underway here in the second half. Score is 22-6. Diego Maquera was down for just a little bit, and now he's back up and at him. Coming back in. They need him in the scrum. Chris O'Donnell not in today, but Diego doing a great job so far filling in. He's playing that loose head position right in there. Very, very important position there in the scrum. Has 0 to none, like very little experience working in the front row, but you know, in sevens, not really comparable to scrum to sevens to 15s, but I mean, you know how to fit your head in and do everything around there, but doing a great job filling in for OD. So ball kicked out of the back. Collinson gets it out to Frasier. Frasier looks to try and find some space to burn the outside, but held well. Ibanez in on the tackle, doing a good job in there, shutting it down. Turned over well by Boston. Looks like Rafferty's off his feet going in there for the ruck. Ball sloppy. Mystic River able to gain possession. Diego again resetting it. Feldman sneaks out. They're looking to go right. Perone hears it last minute. Now Feldman gets it out to Collinson. It's shut down. I think it was open. We see Ibanez again doing a good job. Oh, and Boston able to turn the ball over. Tracy with the kick. Kick goes way downfield, and a fantastic kick by Tracy to relieve some pressure right there. Collinson a little bit shaken up. Morales checks in on him right there. But Tracy relieving pressure, and we see O'Driscoll is back on the field now after serving his 10-minute sin bin for a high tackle. Mystic River is back at full strength now. So Boston able to gain a little bit of field possession, get the ball down the field, and now Mystic River just outside their 22 with the line out. Evan and the ref seem to, Evan O'Driscoll and the ref talking right there. Ref's going to go time on. Evan's back on. Mystic River at full strength for this line out. The referee is going to go ahead and stop them right now. Here's Boston's asking some questions. Mystic River coming up. Straight up to the front pod. Rafferty goes up, brings the ball down. Set the maul. Gabe with the ball out. Tassi puts it on the boot right now. Nice little chip over. Finds some space in behind the defense. And O'Driscoll right back in the game. O'Driscoll making a big impact in the game if he could hold on to that ball. But Boston does a good job of regaining possession. It was a nice little kick. I mean, found the space perfectly. Evan running onto the ball. But as he went to deck, wasn't able to handle it. Ibanez with the big carry moving forward. The Mystic River counter ruck almost effective there. Llewellyn with the ball on hand. Shea Morales tied up there by O'Driscoll. Feldman looking for the poach over the top of it. Tracy with the ball out into the forwards. Ball bounced backwards, ripped out there. Mystic River doing a good job in contact of stripping the ball out there. Schultman picks it up off the deck. Out to Feldman. Tassi with the ball. Collinson now with the ball in hand, and he's in space, and this is dangerous if you're Boston. He's got the corner, and he just burns the defender right there. Gideon cannot stop him on that. And Jared Collinson takes the corner and scores for Mystic River. 27-6 right now. Mystic River. Way to open up the field right there, and you just see that space for Jared. You give him just an inch, and he's going to be able to burn you up with those nice pink cleats in there. As we see this replay right in there, does a good job. Nice little stutter step. Freezes Gideon. Gideon's angle isn't good enough to stop Collinson. The feet swipe, not even close to it. And Jared just comes around in slow-mo and adds 5 points to his total, to his team's total, 27-6. So Tassi now with a much easier conversion right in front. We'll see what his how far he goes back on this, seeing as though, you know, Boston is going to charge down. So he comes up, good little job, takes a couple little steps into it and kicks it right away. Doesn't need the full leg in it, so you can just chip that one right over. And now it's 29-6, Mystic River over Boston. So if you get a chance, you should probably check out some of the stuff we got on Next Level Rugby on our YouTube page. We got a bunch of different games. We got sevens action from the summer. A number of these guys, both on the Boston side and on the Mystic River side, featured in a lot of those videos. Got a lot of great videos from when we were out in Vegas. But right now we're back to action underway. Kickoff taken by Mystic River. Defense stretched a little bit. Tassi again with the boot. Looking to find that space in behind. Test Ripley Apoa does a good job of getting the ball. Nothing happening. Llewellyn in there. Tracy looks to get the ball out. Good defensive line of Mystic River, though. If you just look at them, two guys making the tackle, one making the hit, somebody going for the strip. Oh, nice little chip in there by Llewellyn. He looks to find the space. Now it's a foot race with Tassi. I think Llewellyn regained it, but Tassi just manhandles the ball, stiffs it out of it, and then just stiff arms Gideon. And now Boston with the ball, straightening it back up. Dave McKenna finishing in that ruck in there. And now Hollywood Joe Shermitis finding some space as he always does. Hits Diego with the offload back on the inside. Diego doing a good job of getting some extra meters, staying up on his feet. Ball played out by Gabe Perrone. Mystic attacking that right side of the Boston defense. Boston trying to do everything to strip it out, kind of give Mystic River a little taste of their own medicine. Boston does a good job of getting straight to deck. That way they can't rip it out. Tassi skips Feldman, gets it to O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll cuts back inside and cut down really quick there by Morales. You see Mystic River just looking to work it through their forwards now. Just outside their 22. Tassi with the step back inside, and he's found some space on the inside. Oh, nice little backhanded flick right in there. Oh, Feldman gets cleaned out there. Boston with the ball in hand. Now he gets it out to O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll looks for the pace, but he can't finish it. Brings it back inside to Hollywood Shermitis, and we got it. Oh, fantastic passage of play from Mystic River on that, man. Just moving the ball through the hands of almost everybody on the pitch there. But just Shermitis looking for that offload as he's going to deck and just loses it forward as he gets tackled. Fantastic open play there. Good scrambling defense. You know, Boston not giving up on the play as they're cutting through there. It stops Mystic River from extending this lead beyond a manageable, what do we want to call this, a mountain here of points to get up. So it's 29-6 right now. Mystic River leading by 23. Boston with their scrum feed deep within their own territory. Looks like Mystic maybe driving a little bit early, but a good job of the Boston scrum. Wheeler picks it up right now and gets it into Morales. Morales hits it straight up, not held into the tackle. He's going to run right around Kokinda. Kokinda causing problems in there in that ruck. Causing too many problems in that ruck there. So not rolling away. Refs has some words for Kokinda right there. He's telling him, get out of there, son. So Morales with a good job of bringing that ball up. Gaining a little bit of breathing room for this Boston side. Earning the penalty, and it looks like they're just right at the 50 right now. Just on the other side of the 50, so Boston with the line out. Boston going deep, trying to get over the head of Frasier. They do well in doing that. Hit the forward pod straight into it. Nice little switch going back in the other direction. Mystic River trying to hold the ball carrier up. And does a good job. Mystic River does a great job of turning that ball over there. Gets underneath it. Goes into a maul. Once it goes to deck, it's held up well. Diego is that man that we were talking about earlier that's filling in for OD Chris O'Donnell. Doing a fantastic job. A lot of carries on the day so far. You know, cleaned up a lot of dirty work for him. A lot of dirty ball on the deck. And now here we are with Mystic River with the feed. Just on the other side of the 50 in Boston territory. So ball played out to Perone. Feldman works it through the hands. Big run there. Another stiff arm from Tassi. Just manhandling people out there, man. Just throwing them around. Stay away from that stiff arm. McKenna with the run. Lowers the shoulder. Runs right into Tracy on the good tackle. Perone playing the ball out. Shermitis stopped for probably the first time of today. Now Tassi looking to stretch out wide. Chris Frasier with some space. He cuts back inside. Oh, gets right past Ripley. Oh, and he gets past Gideon. Gideon slides down again. And the last man coming across, not able to stop Chris Frasier. That's going to be his second try of the day. Had one earlier in the first half. Now Chris Frasier coming out, bringing the scoreline 34-6 with an easy conversion for Tassi right in front of the post. You know, this Boston side leaving some holes for this Mystic River explosive pack to get into. As we see just a horrible tackle right there by the wing. I mean, that's on Atoa Ripley right there all the way. I mean, trying to play patty cake with Frasier, you got to take this man down at the legs, and you can't let him get into that open space because your fullback, it's not a good matchup for your fullback when he's moving in open space. So Chris Frasier, 2 tries on the day, 34-6 as we see Gabe and Sean Rafferty coming in, congratulating them. And a nice easy kick there. 36-6 now. Mystic River definitely appears to be outpacing this Boston team. I don't know if this Boston team is going to be able to come back. It's a 30-point victory. It's all downhill for Mystic River. It seems as they're running, everything's starting to work. They're clicking well. They're communicating well. Offloads are coming. You know, off-ball running's looking absolutely fantastic for this Mystic River side. You know, they're looking like a class team right now with a scoreline of 36-6. So Llewellyn again gets us restarted. Now, one problem that Mystic River's doing is there's a lot of ball bouncing around off these restarts. They're not going up and getting clean ball in the restarts, and that's hurting them. Oh, nice ball back into. Feldman's getting hit. Oh, Collinson just slips one tackle off the neck. Keeps going, slips another tackle. Big man going through, but held up there. Finally, Ford's able to stop him, slow him down. Oh, nice. Schulman with a big break right through the line and a nice offload attempt, but just not coming. A little too low for Rafferty to try and pick it up, but big man right there. That's the prop breaking the game line, creating some space. Just get that pass up, and then it's Rafferty to the house on that one. He's finishing that, no problem. So we're going to come back for the advantage. Referee calling advantage there. So Mystic River with the penalty kick. And we've seen all day the Budatasi just, you know, Mystic River from one end of the field to the next. This is definitely one of the best things that he brings to this Mystic River team. I mean, he can kick the conversions from anywhere. You're asking him to kick. Look at this angle. I mean, they're 10 meters outside the try right now for the throw. So Baza looks to have left the pitch now. Diego with the throw. 5-man line out there. Not coming off clean, but batted backwards for Mystic River. Baza was able to pick it up. Now he's cutting into space. Now he's able to burn it. He scored earlier today. He slips one tackle. Ripley Atoa coming over. Atoa Ripley making the tackle. Another one of his high stuff. He needs to get those tackling low. Oh, and they're stretching out Spike Armstrong. That's a good tackle right there. Those are the kind of tackles he should be making. So McKenna looking to straighten up right there. Runs over one would-be tackler. I think that's Devin Ibanez there. Ball again into Rafferty. Rafferty's looking to test that right side. Ball out. Mystic River doing a good job just maintaining possession. And there's Dazzo again trying to muscle his way through. Held back. Llewellyn does a good job. Oh, ball on the deck right there. That's Schultman. And I think he's able to score. Ball bouncing around in there. Looks like the defense was a little bit disorganized, kind of paying attention to where the ball was going, and out of nowhere, Schultman just comes in and dives right over and scores. So now it's 41-6. Mystic River manhandling Boston at this point right now. You know, everything working for the way of Mystic River as we see the slow-mo of Schultman right there, able to just get in. The confused defense not really paying attention, you know, weathering a couple phases. Ball's bouncing around in there. Everybody goes off to the right, and he just slips right in. High tackle comes around, but he's able to reach. Fantastic work there by the big man. All core strength and work there. So Tassi now with the boot. Not the easiest angle, but it seems like almost any kick on the pitch is easy for this guy here. And an uncharacteristic miss for Tassi. It was a hard, was not the best angle for him right there. Mystic River, 41-6, all over Boston right now. Boston still in the fight, still playing good defense in phases. It's just they're not able to put together the complete package right now defensively. The consistent pressure from this Mystic River forwards has been a nightmare for this Boston team, as it is for almost any other team that they're going to face this year. These forwards really good offensively, really good defensively, and then when they get it out into the back line, the threats like Collinson and Frasier, I mean, they can just cut you up from anywhere, not to mention Tassi. You get him into space, he's going to pass distribute. So there's a man, speaking of Tassi, with the boot. Nice high kick right there. Sloppy ball on the deck there. Boston gathers it well. Tracy gets it out wide to Llewellyn. Llewellyn steps McKenna to the inside, but Diego makes a good covering tackle. McKenna looking to finish it. Ball coming in. Big Pecora in there. Runs over a couple guys. Ibanez looking for the pick and go there. Goes nice and low. Ruck in right away. Slow ball here on for Boston. Another pick and go for Boston. So it looks to be a turnover ball in there. I think Schultman turned that ball over when he was in there. Quick hands in. Tassi now with Frasier with the ball off. Frasier's cutting open. Cut down, though, on the wing. Perone with the ball out. Joe Shermitis taking the ball straight up. Ball out again to Perone. McKenna taken down by, almost taken down by Prell. Finished off there by Rockwell. Now Diego into some space. Ball out, Tassi to Feldman. Back inside to Shermitis, and Shermitis just being an animal like he always is. Just finding those hard yards on the inside. And now Evan O'Driscoll finds a hole. Looks through a gap. Ruck is there. Gabe's looking for the offload into Rafferty. Rafferty gathers it from behind him. Does a good job of getting to deck. Ball out, skips past. There's Armstrong with the ball right now. Held up well by Tracy. Now Kakinda in to drive it forward. Get that ball back. Perone pops that ball into Rafferty. Rafferty with a big hit in there. Drops the shoulder, laying the wood. Kakinda coming right back into it, fighting. See, looking to test. Looks like they're going left right now. Oh, to O'Driscoll, but he's met from a stiff defender. That's a new sub in the game right now for Boston. McKenna taken down. Ball up to Feldman. Feldman skips one out. There's to Frasier. Frasier with the stiff arm. And look, he's on the outside. And he's going to get to the corner. He's got all that space. And Chris Frasier for his third try of the game. Able to just turn this Boston, these wings on the outside of Boston. He's just able to take that space and just go. Like we talked about earlier, you give these backs an inch and they're just going to make you pay for it. He just straight out foot race to the corner right there. He got it, and here we see he's just going to turn the corner. Nothing that David Kohler could do right there. Nice stiff arm on Gideon. Gideon's seen a lot of that floor today through Frasier. Frasier had him missing. Collinson had him missing good, but there it is, Chris Frasier. We get a wonderful shot of our cameraman there, Vince, giving you some of these angles, walking around the field, and we see right there, there's David Kohler right there. He's coming up and charging. saying that Tassi made his charge toward, or started his movement towards the ball for the kick. So Boston, they were successful earlier in the first half with a charge down kick. They did block it, keeping Mystic River away from the scoreboard on that one. So it's 41-6 right now. With the conversion successful, 43-6. Mystic River on top of Boston. So in the first half, we saw kind of a little bit of a back and forth. It looked like Boston may have some answers for this Mystic River offense defensively, but a series of mistakes and a series of just penalties put them all in a bad position. So the scoreline is 48-6. I said 43-6, but it's 48-6 there on the third try from Chris Frasier. That's a hat trick for him today. As Diego, ball went backwards originally, ref says. Boston, nope. So Boston was asking for a knock on there. It's Diego knocking on the gather. He's had a good game all day today, but just a momentary lapse of concentration went right through his hands. That's why you got to turn. You got to turn your body to the side when you catch those, ladies and gentlemen. That way, if you do knock it, it goes backwards, and your support behind you will pick that ball up, and you guys will be good to go. So hopefully next time we have some color commentary for you. I'm trying to do everything right now. I've spent some serious time on this, trying to get this up and running right now. So we have the feed right now, and it's going to come straight out. You see the frustration there from Tracy. The ball coming straight out there, Wheeler not happy as well, too, for Boston. These guys are just a little bit frustrated at how this game has turned out so far for them. A lot of rugby left to play in this championship, so, don't count this Boston side out. There's a lot that can happen between now and then. They're playing the Wolfhounds on October 24th. They have Old Blue October 17th. So we see them right here. Old Blue just went down to Life today. Lost to Life. Life's looking really good. So look out for those guys. Boston will be playing Life in Boston on November 7th. We will be there for all of the action. Life out of Marietta, Georgia. So we will go into a bye week next week, but Ontario will be playing Old Blue in New York. That's going to be one heck of a match. If you're in the New York area, make sure you check that out. They had an ARP All-Stars, went up and played the Canadian All-Stars just at the beginning, or at the end of the summer. Canadian All-Stars won that, but it was a really good match. After this bye week from the ARP, we get action going right away. It's a big day in Boston again. It's going to be Nyack versus Mystic and Old Blue at Boston. And then you're going to have UMass versus BC. So all the action in the Northeast going off October 17th in Boston. So good kick. Gideon does a good job of taking that ball, getting it back. A little knock on there. So I spoke a little bit soon in there. It was a good take, but just a little bit sloppy as he goes to bring it to deck, looking to place it back a little bit too early. So this team from Boston, they're a young team. They got a lot that they need to make up for. They got a lot of stuff that they can do. So as we're getting action underway right now, we're just back into it. So ball being played out. Boston looking to stretch it out to the right-hand side. Morales with the ball in hand. Throws the ball behind to Toa. Toa does a good job gathering it. Moving forward. Now the ball taken up. That's Armstrong, I believe. Now Gabe Perone kicks it over. Not the best of kicks right there. Gideon does a good job of covering it. Collinson right there to wrap him up. Tracy with the box kick now, looking to gain a little bit of space. Doesn't find anything except for Sean Rafferty back there. Slips the first tackler. Stiff arms Morales pretty well. Morales does a good job of stopping him, though. Mystic River through Dazzo. Dazzo coming through. Hollywood Shermitis over the top of that ruck. Now we see it out here. Ball being played out. Bouncing off the deck. Frasier with the ball in hand. Never a good thing if you're Boston, seeing that ball in Frasier's hand. Coming out. Ooh, big hit in there. Mystic River forward still running hard and strong late into the game. Oh, passing behind Collinson right there. Looks to find Mike Honeywell. He's a player. He's fresh into the game. Was a long-time Boston player, but made the transition to Mystic River for the 7 series. Done a great job playing for Mystic River. Also a Northeast Academy guy. Was part of that Aces team that won out in Vegas this past February. And now we see Kakinda with some hard running in there. He's the soon-to-be father. Congratulations. Early congratulations to them when you guys have it. So Diego with the ball. Oh, stripped right out of his hands, though, but it looks like Diego got it back. A little bit of wrestling on the ground there. Mystic River, good hard running by Schultman. He's been doing it all day. Big hard runs. Look right now. Oh, big skip pass out there, and there's Honeywell on the wing. He stiff arms Morales, and he's able to score on his former teammate right there. A little bit of justice for Mike Honeywell right there. You know, you see a good little ribbon there from his former teammate from Boston. You know, Mike Honeywell coming into the game, making an immediate impact, scoring for Mystic River. Scores 53-6 right now. You see a nice stiff arm there. And Honeywell with the strength doing a good job of staying inbounds and able to get that ball grounded despite Morales trying to pull him out of bounds and into touch. Fantastic try there, Mike Honeywell. As we see it again from the wide angle from the center cam, comes in. We see just before he gets out of bounds. Fantastic. Fantastic work by Mike Honeywell. So Mystic River looks to be one of the top teams in the ARP, in the Northeast, in the country. You know, they had a Final Four finish last year. They lost a tight game in the Final Four to eventual national champions, D1 champions, New York Athletic Club, who they will be playing next week of action for the ARP. So October 17th, they're going to be playing. That's going to be at Pine Banks Park. So if you're around, make sure you check it out. So Spike Armstrong with the conversion attempt. It's no good, just to the left. There's a hard kick on it. So scoreline remains 53-6 right now. Going the way of Mystic River. And the Monsters from Malden. So Boston Rugby, you know, it's new face of Boston Rugby. A lot of faces that we're used to seeing. You know, not out there for Boston. It's a young team. You know, it could be frustrating at times, but it's kind of a new thing, right? Like a lot of these guys, they're coming up, you know, look to see. Rugby, it's all about that maturation and, you know, working together and gelling as a team. These Mystic River guys have been doing a good job playing together since the merge. You know, 2 years now that these guys have really been all working hard together. A lot of these faces, for the most part, we've seen for a while. As Feldman calls for the ball, misses right behind Dazzo, finds Evan O'Driscoll, who looks for the awful, but does a good job of just taking it straight to deck. That's Nick Vitiz in there right now. He's playing the ball out there. Coming in for scrum half for Gabe Perone, who had a fantastic game at scrum half. Two of the guys that were from Middlesex now. Scrum halves from Mystic River. Diego again with another carry. This guy's been carrying the ball quite a bit today. You know, him and Schultman, big runners. There's another big runner, Kakinda, with the ping. Oh, Vitiz does a great job of gathering it, but just almost stripped away by Gideon, and it should have been stripped away by Gideon. Gideon did a great job of getting over the top and trying to strip it. Referee right there, not releasing. So penalty going the way of Boston here. So that ball looks to be in, and then it's out, courtesy of Mike Honeywell. So he just scored a try. It looks like, you know, he gets that, and it looks like Adnan might have been ribbing him just a little bit. So he hit him with the ball, just a nice little shove into his gut there. Everybody's laughing. It's kind of funny. But, you know, just play by Mike Honeywell, just lost his footing, losing a little bit of concentration on where he is on the pitch. So as Boston approaches their lineout now, they look to go quick here out of their lineout. A 4-man lineout. They have numbers, but the ref's going to give the knock-on going the way of Boston. Or, I'm sorry, going the way of Mystic River. Knock from Devin Ibanez there, trying to gather the ball. So Mystic River, a lot of these guys running the course of the game. You know, the cardio and fitness is everything. You know, Josh Smith probably trying to get a good run in these guys. It's been pretty easy goings for them so far throughout the competitive season, but as we talked about earlier, that changes everything next week with or the next time out when they play Nyack. The week off will give them a nice chance to heal some of their bruises. As we see a nice big hole again, Mystic River straight up the field, but good defensive pressure though by Boston's driven them back. Ball coming out. Vitiz with the ball out right there. Finds a hard running forward. Dragged down well by Boston. See Morales looking to come up with their space out wide. There it is. Diego with the ball out wide. Frasier again. That's dangerous, but he cuts it back inside right into a defender. Defended well there by McKenzie. So Vitiz organizing right now. Schultman again taking the ball up. These forwards from Boston have had to do a lot of big tackles in that C gap right there. Mystic River stretching out the forwards of Boston and attacking from wide angles. Not hitting that A-B channel that you see. You know, a lot of the younger junior teams hitting, you know, run into that A-B channel, stretch that defense, chop them in half, right? You see Mystic River doing a great job of that. I love how they play their forwards off of, they play the forwards ball straight off of the scrum half or, you know, that inside ball off the fly half back inside. As we see Hollywood Joe Shermitis taking a break. A fantastic game for him. A little bit bloodied up in the nose there as he comes off the field, but all smiles. Fantastic gentleman, great rugby player, and even greater dude, man. Hollywood from Pennsylvania. Kakinda, also another one of those Pennsylvania boys. You know, those flankers, just hard-nosed backcountry boys. And you see Mystic Boston doing a good job trying to get out through Ripley. Atoa with the back flick, but it's not coming off. It's a $100 move with a $2 finish. And then we see right in here now. Oh, good job there. Oh, good job there by Feldman. But I don't think that Josh is going to be happy with him kicking away possession there. See Boston doing a good job of clearing. Now Llewellyn with the box kick. O'Driscoll gains possession, gets it out to Spike Armstrong, who's stretching the right side now. Honeywell in space, looking to get to the outside, switches it back inside to Diego. Diego does one stiff arm, and now Diego's through, and Diego's running through, and he's going to just dot it down in the corner. Diego Macchiera with a try for Mystic River, 58-6 right now. We're almost at the end of the game. You know, time's winding down. We got a couple minutes. 53-6. You know, not what Boston was looking for out of this game coming in here to Malden, Massachusetts. You know, Mystic River putting on a display for the hometown fans. You know, putting the ARP on notice that, you know, Mystic River is here to play. You know, it's really no surprise to a lot of people in the game. They were, as we talked about earlier, they were, you know, Final Four, you know, finalists, however you want to say that. I don't even know how you say that. You know, they were in the Final Four last year, you know, played Nyack, lost to the eventual national champions in a tight race. You know, Mystic River has the power, and they have the tools to be effective on any Saturday. You know, big games against Nyack and Old Blue when they play each other. That's going to be awesome. Mystics are going to play Old Blue October 24th down in New York City, and then finish out their season with that October 24th game is going to be their last game of the season. But after that, we have one more weekend of ARP matchup. That's going to be November 7th with Life traveling up to Boston, playing at Amesbury Sports Park. And we see Spike Armstrong, no good on the conversion from the hard angle. So 58-6 right now. You know, so far, Mystic River doing a good job defending against Boston. You know, a lot of subs in right now. Fresh legs on for Boston. Fresh legs in for Mystic River. You know, it would be nice to see Boston get a try here towards the back end of the game. You know, salvage a little bit of something. You know, they played with a lot of heart. You got to give it to them. And then when you're listening to a lot of their conversations around the field, you know, they're not getting too down on each other. They do realize that a lot of this is a learning experience for them. And with a couple of games playing together, you know, they're going to really find their form. And they're going to be back to the form that we know Boston Rugby to be. So ball taken down right now. Mystic River sets the ruck. Coming up through the forwards. So ball kicked away by Feldman. Gideon gathers it. He's been pretty reliable under the high ball today. Ball kicked back to Batiste. Goes backwards. Now Feldman with the ball. Kicks for touch, and I mean, that's not a good kick at all. I mean, that's, I bet he wished he could have that one back. Maybe got about 7 meters there. The ball went almost directly to his left and out of bounds. You know, he's had a great game, though, so we'll let him get away with that one. Feldman, you can get away with that one. You know, you've had a good game. Stepping in for Pono Haisuka, you know, fly half, capped eagle. You know, Feldman not missing a beat in here. So ball played out from Tracy. Tracy looks to link up with Llewellyn. Oh, nice big run in there. Good job by Boston. Not held in the tackle, so he gets right back up. Charging forward. Now Boston's in a great attacking position. Let's see if they can make something of this possession. Ball out to the wings. They found some space, and they're able to get it down. Were they able to get it down? The referee is saying no. I believe the touch flag is up. So going to be a line out to Mystic River here. You know, Boston almost scoring here at the death. Would have been nice to see them get on the board. So line out to Mystic River. They go up Batiste with the high pass to Feldman. Feldman kicks. Doesn't get it out, so Boston with a good opportunity to counterattack here. Now they've gotten space. They're looking to attack through Gideon. Dazzle does a good job of tackling him and bringing him down in open field. Stops the counterattack well. Ball out into the big prop, or second row, I'm sorry. Running up. Tracy looks to pass the ball out there. Llewellyn using Morales off his outside, bringing him right back in for a nice under. Ball out from Tracy. Now looking to find some more space on the outside. That's Kohler. Kohler cuts back inside. You know, Ruck setting up. Boston putting together some good phases here. Ibanez taking the ball straight up into contact. Another one missing the player. Now they're out to the backs. Oh, quick hands in there. Fancy little work right there. Oh, forwards making some work. Oh, look at that. That's good. That's Pro with the ball on the outside. Gets the ball back into the prop. Ball out. Llewellyn with the ball into Morales. Morales finds himself a hole, and he's going to be through. That's Shane Morales. You know, Boston doing a good job of stringing together a couple of phases in there, moving the ball across the field, maintaining possession. You know, you found your forwards out here working it with some quick hands out here in space, setting it right back up. This Mystic River defense is tired. Look at them. Their hands are on their knees. They were running all over the field trying to play. And then Morales able to pick a good line coming right in off of Llewellyn, and he's through 2 tacklers for the try. So 58-11 right now. (58-11). Mystic River still on top. Gideon with the conversion attempt. Successful. And that is the match, folks. That is the first coverage of Next Level Rugby's coverage of the American Rugby Premiership. We just witnessed Boston and Mystic River, you know, going toe-to-toe. And Mystic River coming out on top 58-13 over this Boston side. So we're going to throw it down to the field right now. We're going to check in with a couple of the players and the coaches. With Diego Macchiera, one of the guys that Josh Smith was looking for to step up today, filling in a new role, fitting in that prop position, doing a pretty good job with that nice bald head here. What do you think about the game?
It was a hell of a game. We were pretty fired up to play Boston. We had the Wolfhounds, and we just wanted to put our marker down. And we're missing two of our big guys, our tight head prop and our 10, and everyone stepped up. You know, I had to fill in and play in a position that I don't normally play. We had a new 10, and everyone was fired up. We had a great week of training, and it's a good match. Did
a fantastic job. We saw you went down for a little bit there. What was that injury? What was going on in that situation?
It was just in the contact, just kind of like crunched my neck a little bit. Just had to shake it out a little bit, and I was good to go. So
that's Diego. He scored one try for us today. Part of that 58 points, 5 points on the board for Mystic River. That's Diego. We're going to see him 7s, 15s, prop, whatever he needs to play, he's going to be doing it. Thanks, Diego.
Thank you.
Nigel Conroy, one of the coaches. Nigel, tough match for you guys coming in. You've beaten Mystic River the last couple times. Looks like you might be in a little bit of rebuilding phase. What were some of the positives you saw out of the young guys that were out there?
A couple of guys, Devin, our 6 there, really put in a good performance. When he packs on a couple of pounds, I think he'll make much more of an impact on the game. We just got to keep working what we're doing. You know what I mean? We got to get sharper, cleaner. You know, there's a couple of phases in the game that we can work on and improve. You know,
So Devin, one of those guys that played with your 7s programs with Shane and a couple of other guys,
yeah.
Is that paying dividends moving forward, having those guys play a few guys in the 7s, and then is that translating well over into the 15s game?
The more rugby people can play, the more comfortable they're on with their hands on the ball. I don't know if you want to say anything specific about does 7s help with the 15s, but if they're playing rugby, they're getting more comfortable carrying the ball, getting more comfortable with what they're doing, and there's not that panic, you know what I mean? And I think that will help no matter what, you know.
What's next game moving forward into your next match? What are you guys going to do? What adjustments are you going to make?
I think at ruck time we need to take care, look after the ball a bit more. There was a lot of turnovers in the game, back and forth between both sides, and I think the most dangerous ball that you got to defend against is the turnover. So, you know, they executed well. They were very sharp, very clinical. So they did a good job.
All right, cheers and thanks. The rest of the season, we'll see you, Nigel.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. We're here with Josh Smith, head coach of the victorious Mystic Riverside. Josh, you guys played a pretty good game here against Boston. Finally got one back against them. You know, the last two didn't go your way. This time it was. What was the keys to success today?
Again, I thought the forwards were pretty solid in contact, and at the game line we did a good job of pushing forward so the backs could attack off the edge. Diego Macchiera again stand out. Dave McKenna in the second rows was also pretty solid, and again Steve Daza, we plugged him at second row. Basically, with no repetitions there, and he did a great job.
Well, let's talk about him. I mean, he's coming in, doesn't have a 15s really background at all, plays a lot of 7s at Dartmouth, and now he's coming out and had a really good game for you, as you talked about, running people over. Where do you see him going in the next year?
I think, you know, we're obviously going to transition back to the back line, but he's a guy I can see plugging in our back line and make an immediate statement. I think that the key with him right now is we need to get him reps with the catch pass. I mean, he's obviously a great ball runner. He's a great defender. But as far as, you know, the skills with the catch pass, it's not just there. Athletically, you know, he's what you're looking for.
Yeah, absolute specimen and a beast. And now you're moving forward, taking on Nyack in your next match. What are you guys going to do? You going to do anything different, stick with the same game plan, or how are you going to approach that game?
We're going to start. Hopefully we're going to get healthy. You know, use next week. The 5 week is a little bit of a blessing next week. But, you know, we're going to kind of stick with what our pattern is and what we want to do. We game plan a little bit for the other side, but for the most part, we want them to take away what we do and not kind of game plan for Nyack. So we're gonna obviously look to spread the pitch, use our backs, you know, high tempo offense. But as far as game planning a ton for Nyack, I don't see us really doing that. Obviously, Class Club, we got a real good look at them last year in the semifinals. But we'd like to kind of play our game.
How comfortable you were, and what was the keys to success today?
Just a lot of reps of training, man. Like to get me, you know, going fast. We had to get a lot of reps in, and at times it was a bit stressful. There's a lot of info coming in at you a lot, and, you know, a lot of pressure from, you know, the other guys on the team, the coach. Everyone's trying to get you up to speed really fast, and yeah, at times it felt a little crazy, but once you kind of just understand the system, you understand what everyone wants to do, it kind of takes care of itself.
It's nice when you got those big forwards right inside you. You get that ball, pop it right back into them, let them run over some people, huh?
Yeah, when we don't have the numbers, just give it to the big boys, let them do the work, and then once we get the overload, just take advantage of it.
What's the future for Mystic River? What's it looking like? Looking pretty optimistic here. A couple of blowout wins. You guys are playing Nyack moving forward. What are you guys going to do to prepare for that match?
Just, you know, kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, just keep grinding at practice, keep putting in the dirty work, and hopefully it takes care of itself.
That's John Feldman, fly half for Mystic River, plays sevens for the Northeast Academy all over the place, and also doing a tour with Maccabee.
Yeah, hopefully in the future I'll be getting on with those boys, but yeah, we'll see.
All right, that's John Feldman, Mystic River. Ryan Ginty with Next Level Rugby, and we just finished up the ARP match between Mystic River and Boston, where it was an absolute runaway. Mystic River handled Boston well with a final score of 58-13. The Monsters from Malden showed up here today and got it done. Gonna leave some questions. What's going on with Boston? Looks like they're in a little bit of a rebuilding phase right now, but you know this team is gonna be back. They have a long story tradition. But right now, Nyack, Old Blue, and Life B are put on notice. Mystic River has showed up and they are ready to play.